There we go.
All right, everybody. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's Talk About Tuesday. I am your host, Dr. Kita Joy, the life coach that helps you have maximize your greatest potential and get what you want in life, love, and business. Who doesn't want that, right? But today, we're going to talk about some real things. It's going to be, is there any, Nicole, do you hear any feedback?
Yeah, I think it might be my Instagram. I'm sorry.
Instagram. If you pull your turn your volume down on your phone there. This is gonna be totally organic. This is completely conversational. We're gonna get honest. It's real. Just so you know, I'm coming from the perspective as a Black woman, a Black wife, and a Black mother. I'm not coming here as an expert in all things Black. I am just coming here letting you know I am a Black woman who is hurting. I am a Black woman who is in pain, and I am a Black woman who is committed to strategy and to coming up with solutions. I am a Black woman who is full of hope. I am resilient, and I understand that no matter how dark times may seem, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't care, no one can tell me any different. But right now I am deeply, deeply pained. And so this conversation is a time of utter transparency. It is a time of love because true love walks in truth. So many of you think love is pretending that things are okay. Things are not okay. They haven't been okay for centuries. And they're definitely not okay today. So this is a live for people who really are about change, that are willing to be uncomfortable. Okay. And so one of the hashtags that I want to put up here is hashtag joy over fear. And so the reason why I have that, if you don't know, I'm going to be on the OWN network coming up this Saturday at 9 p.m.
This is like, get it.
I know, crazy. And so we're talking about what can fear teach us. And I don't know about you, but right now I'm full of a lot of fear. And so we're going to talk about that today on Talk About It Tuesday. And I'm going to introduce my great friend Nicole shortly. But the hashtag that you guys, I want you to think about is hashtag joy over fear. Because joy, it's not just a feeling. It is a state of mind. It is a person who is resilient and purposeful. And that is who we are. And so we are choosing hashtag joy over fear. So before I introduce this amazing woman, again, I was telling Nicole just now, this is very organic and strategic at the same time, if you could have both. But I have some quotes from James Baldwin, and I want to start there just so you guys know the context of this live today. I am not here to save white women, just to be clear. That is not my job. But we are here in love to figure out what can we do as people to do better. That's the goal. And so here's some just so you can understand the heart of the Black community. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. Love takes off masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. I imagine one of the reasons people cling to their hate so stubbornly is because they sense once hate is gone, they will be forced to deal with pain. I love America more than any other country in the world. And exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually. And lastly, love does not begin and end the way we seem to think it does. Love is a battle. Love is a war. Love is a growing up. That is the goal of this live, is that when we are done, we can all continue to grow up. We want to grow up. So thank you to my Instagram peeps who are tuning in as well. We appreciate you. My Black community, I don't know about you, but Killer Mike's quote has been in my mind since he did that state of address for Atlanta. He said to plot plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. So that has been my focus. It's been hard because I look at my husband and wonder if he's going to come home alive. I look at my children and wonder if today's the day that their life might be taken just because of the color of their skin. So I have to somehow remain mentally healthy, strong, so that I can be there for my family and also still have the responsibility to be there for my community. But I am up for the charge. I am up for it. And so I thank you that a part of this conversation, I have my dear friend, Nicole, with me. So Nicole, go ahead and please introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are.
Yes. Hi. And first, thank you, Kita, for having me today. My name is Nicole Dupre, and I'm the founder and creative director of Opera del Sol. Opera del Sol is a small performing arts organization where we are trying to reimagine the future of vocal arts. And we have a sister company called Centro for Vocal Arts, where we provide music education to youth from 6 to 17. And then we have provide young artist programs throughout, Central Florida. I have been spending the last 10 years of my life working in the performing arts and media here in Orlando, both as a creative director, but I'm also a hair, makeup, and wig designer. So I've been doing a lot of that over the last 10 years. And then I am just, once I started to get into the performing arts, it became a major passion of mine just to try to have as much impact on our community as I could. I'm president of the Milk District neighborhood, which is on the outskirts of downtown.
I told you this lady's busy, okay?
And I, take every government class that I can because I believe in living a life of purpose and doing all that I can do for my community. Once you realize that if you work hard enough, what you can do and the change that you can make. I've been passionate for 18 years in politics and just trying to do everything that I can. And so I thank you because, like I said, 18 years, I have, attended protests. I knocked door to door. I have supported Democratic candidates. And, I have tried to do what I felt was what I stand up for injustice. But then, I felt like in this day and age, it's, with social media, I don't want to just, share quotes anymore. I don't want to just share memes. I don't want to make a sign and walk, peacefully in the street. To me, I wanted to approach you and know that there had to be a deeper and more raw conversation about what kind of action, what are actionable items that, the white community can do to help uplift the voices that are not being heard, the voices that are being taken away from us so senselessly. And as a white woman, I am infinitely aware of how my life, even, you and I are the same age, how different my life has been compared to yours. And I know that there are a lot of us that want to do something and we just don't know what to do. And I guess that was, where, we started having ideas, but I also didn't want to be, from a place of privilege to be like, I think as a white woman, this is what we need to do to help with racial injustice. I knew that at the heart of any movement, there needs to be communication and education. And I know that there's a lot that I don't even know. And I consider myself to be someone who's active on trying to listen and to try to be a voice and an advocate. But I think we live in a time where I want to do more. And I applaud you for having me on and being open. And, when this went on, I texted Kita and I just was honest. And I said, I want to come to you and how are you feeling? What can I do? Where can I lend my love and figure out something to do to help bridge that gap?
Thank you, Boo, and I appreciate it. Right now, Black people, we're fed up, and I think one of the biggest things right now for the context of this live is that if white women want to love us, then white women are going to have to be honest about why did it take this. It shouldn't have taken a video of a man being viciously murdered for 9 minutes straight for now my white sisters to be like, oh, racism, oh, whoa. This has always been here. This is not new. So today is Blackout Day, and I take it as a day of awareness. And so I want white women to repent. I want them to see that it shouldn't take this to be alarmed. This is not new. This has happened over and over and over. And then on top of that, we had the situation with Amy Cooper, where she intentionally abused her white privilege and said on purpose, these key words she knew, as if there was this unspoken white woman code that if I just say African American man, I'm good. Automatically, he'll be in trouble, I'll be safe. And so the narrative that I have experienced is that white women are able to use their white privilege for their advantage and then throw the whole helpless card, I didn't know. So I come today to say, if you think about it, you do know. It just takes some thought. It takes tears. It takes pain. It takes humility. It takes struggle, but you do know, because like James Baldwin said in one of his videos, you know that you don't want to be Black in America. I know many white people, if you're on this live, you know you don't want to be Black in America. So that is a great starting point to ask yourself, why? Oh, and let me make sure I be checking the comments too. Yes. Oh, somebody said, yeah. I just said, why are we asking why instead of what can we do? Yes. Okay. Hello. Yes. Yes, it was. And
yes, Amy Cooper is disgusting. I agree 100%.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where we have always heard about this feminist movement, this movement of white women and sisterhood, and we're all in this together. And I'm like, we're not in this together. I want us to be in this together, but we're not in this together. It's 2020, and it took another, because this is another Black man. And you think about white women and what happened with Emmett Till. And again, abusing white privilege. This is something that has gone on for years and years and years. And so I think the first starting point is for white women to see that there has not been sisterhood. And we have to do better. And to my Black sisters and brothers who are on this live right now, it is not our responsibility to teach white people right now. That's not our responsibility. Your responsibility is to stay healed. Your responsibility is to be healthy. Your responsibility is to be whole. Your responsibility is to fight for your community, to demand what we deserve. Your responsibility is to plot, plan, organize, strategize, and mobilize. That is your responsibility. Your responsibility is not to have to teach white people to do anything, right? But I will say, at the end of the day, we are all the human race. And so I wanted to make sure that we have an opportunity to come together as humans and talk about what can others do to actually help end systemic racism. And so, Nicole, I know when we were talking, and in utter humility, you expressed to me how knowing the narrative, not feeling like you're taking over and making this now kind of a white thing or something like
Right.
that. And when you said that, I'm like, I can see that. I can understand that. But I will say, we can see your heart. And so I want you to know, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, because what I was saying before about the Black community, we recognize real. We can spot it a mile away. So if we see a white woman out there starting an initiative, doing something for our community, we're not going to be like, oh, who she thinks she is? We're going to be like, thank you, God. Go ahead, Nicole. And because we can see the heart. And trust me, we can see the ones who are phony. Some of the phony ones might be on this live today. Maybe, maybe not. But what I can say is, as a Black community, we can spot real. We know what real is. So if you are just leading in truth and leading in authenticity, it will make a difference and it will be received. So I want you, wait, hold on. One of my friends, Oh, so thank you. I want to make sure that you guys, this is also conversational. I get caught up in talk, but I want to make sure I also include the comments up on the screen. We got some amens. My friend, dear friend, Danique, I always love to hear what she has to say. She is actually a Black history teacher at Jones High School.
Amazing.
When I say my girl is all the way woke, she is woke. So she says, white women has historically made real change in America. White women has single-handedly gotten the right to vote. White women have single-handedly pushed for equality and pay. White women have benefited the most from affirmative action. White women are the feminist movement. So you see, white women can make change in racial systemic issues. Absolutely. And that's the whole point, is if you really want to make change, you guys have everything that you need in your power to make changes. So Nicole, now you tell me.
Sorry, we have a little bit of feedback because of the Instagram account.
Here, I'm gonna get off the live. Let's not do
okay. Sorry, I couldn't turn it off. Since I was a host, it wouldn't let me turn it off. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So that's good because everybody's here. Hey, and we're on YouTube live also.
There we go.
You talk to your. I want you to talk to your white friends right now, Nicole.
Right. I think one of the benefits that I have had in my own life is actually, the last few years I've actually been, involved in Florida politics. And I think one of the coolest experiences that we had was we got to be in, work on the Andrew Gillum commercials, remember? And that was really great to have, your son there. And so what I think, I know that, I want to use my voice, because I think that as uncomfortable as it feels, we need to know, I know that it is going to be white women that make the change, but it also, as a white woman, I know you and I kind of talked about it. For some, there is this fear. And I think that the fear comes from I don't want to say education. It's not education like school, but just not having been around other Black culture, not having someone as a friend, not having someone that you have worked with. I grew up in rural Pennsylvania until I was 15 years old. Okay. There were only 75 people in my class, and not one single Black person lived in my entire community. And I think that and I still, family lives there, or knew that. I think that a lot of, people up there, the fear comes from not knowing, not having ever been around the Black community.
So with that, not knowing what? So not knowing would stop you from
I think not having someone in your life, that does not fit the stereotypes that you have been fed your entire life. I think that, if you're a white person that literally has never had any encounter with the African American community, that you are very easily to feel that fear and to have that narrative in your mind because you've been feeding it. You've been fed it. Oh, they're criminals, or they're thugs, or, they do drugs. Growing up in the 80s, when I didn't have anybody in my community that was Black and on the news. And I believe that, one of the things that has been, a negative in the Black community is how the media has portrayed, portrayed you and portrayed, it started with reefer madness, in the 50s. And then, they wanted to make the African-American man the face of the crack epidemic. But yet they never wanted to celebrate everything. And I think
Nicole, look at this comment here, because that kind of sums up what you were saying. Awareness. So then how can we now turn that? Because my whole goal is, once we get to the root, so we just did a root cause analysis, what you just said was powerful. Now, what can a white woman take from that? What you think, because I'm not teaching them, you are. What could they take from that and now turn that into an actionable step towards helping the Black community and ending systemic racism?
Right. I think one of the biggest things is to make sure that we do everything in our power to make sure that we can help you have your voices heard. One of the things that I think that we need to do is that I don't believe in politics that there is enough representation. I really truly believe that the reason that there's a systematic problem is because the people that are making the choices that have everything to do with the funding for the African-American neighborhoods, for the schooling, for the education, those people are white old men or white women. I feel that if I can, and I'm a big advocate on, local politics. I believe in trying to make change in your street. And I think that, one of the big things that I want to do is to make sure, is it helping to help everyone to get registered to vote, to make sure that, that's one of my biggest, one of the things that I think could be something that could really bring on change. And it doesn't just mean, helping to register to vote to be able to run for president. I believe that, local elections, we get behind, we figure out what are the needs of the community? How can we get people into those positions of power? And if that means, knocking door to door.
You can sum up that one point right there, Nicole, because you're going to have a few more, I can tell, coming down the pipeline. So if we could sum up that one point right there, you would be telling white women to do what?
To help to elect local leaders and community leaders of color. One of the, I think that is having your voices heard in so many different parts of the community. And what can we do to help to elect, people of color and local politicians? But then not just that, even smaller. I know that, I work for a nonprofit. We have board members. I know that we are actively, and we want to have people of color on our board. I think that, it is that companies and organizations need to have openings to have voices and people who do not look like them to be involved. I think that business owners need to, be open to bringing a diverse workplace, and that goes from
white. You have to say white businesses.
White businesses, yeah. Yes. White businesses need to hire more people of color. White businesses need to have board members of color. Local government needs to have more people of color. And I think I really loved what Killer Mike said. I believe that strategy and organizing is going to be the thing that we can help the most. We are power in numbers. And I think I care very much about having our community be represented. I was a huge advocate for Val Demings. I think that what she can bring to the Central Florida community, to be a woman,
so someone here, she needs to say Black. Stop saying people of color.
Thank you for educating me.
But I like that. The point of this live, so you guys can see, is that I'm not here to coddle and hold Nicole's hand. I am not here to give her hugs and hold her through this live. She is a grown white woman, and I am a grown Black man, Black woman. Look, that's because I got a Black husband. And we are here, we're going to learn, we're going to grow, we're going to move forward together. And in order to do that, it takes being uncomfortable. And so, Grace, thank you so much for that. And then thank you, Nicole, for acknowledging that and then making that change.
Well, and I too, and that to me, I mean, I always thought that saying African American or people of color was being sensitive. And
I think Grace is saying she just, because we're speaking
of Black people. And okay.
Black people dying, Black people's lives. So let's just
Right.
speak specifically to.
No, but
a lot of times, I think that pains us. So you could, that trigger, Grace, if I'm correct, is that comes from that whole premise of that whole all lives matter instead of Black lives matter. It's kind of like right now we're talking specifically about Black issues, where that comes from. So that was good. And then someone wanted to say,
what can white people do to help make sure this happens? I think that, you know, people that are in power, you know, whether you're a business owner, whether you are a manager, if you are in a person of in that position when you are making the hires, that I think that you need to make the uncomfortable and conscious. I don't mean to say uncomfortable. I'm just saying that sometimes that's why we're having this conversation, right? It's not easy to say that out loud. It's not easy to say that to a business, you know? And I think that we need to make sure that we just are having, yes, uncomfortable conversations are really, really important.
So how would you check that? How could a white woman make sure that that was happening? That businesses were making sure that there was a fair share of Black people and a diverse group that's a part of these different boards? Because that's the part that we're getting to, is that white women can be extremely strategic when it works in their favor. It doesn't just stay in ideas and lofty principles and theories. It goes into a legit game plan of action when it works in their favor. So I love what you just said. We were all agreeing 110%. So now it's like, how would you use your white privilege to actually see that happen?
Well, right now, I know that for an example that I'm living, you know, truthfully, in my organization, we had a staff meeting. We've talked to our board members. We have put it out there in a statement, knowing that we provide music education, but our teachers do not look like our students. And we are actively, you know, advocating and searching for Black teachers, Black singers, Black performers, Black board members. We are actively asking for people to join us. You know, I would love to, you know, if you are interested, and shout out to anybody, if you are interested in the arts, we would love to have your voice on our board, because, you know, that is also providing education to other children. And I just believe that bringing and being active, saying, this is who we need to hire. This is who we need to represent when it comes
what if,
to—
Nicole, you see that's happening on such a big scale, and it's going to take more than just one organization getting on board? Like, if like what you're saying, that's good, but what if on a bigger scale?
On a bigger scale.
That's my whole thing. Someone just put up, hold on, I want to put it up.
When it works in their favor, they're tenacious.
Yeah. You got, it is up. Okay.
Well, I think, when you say they, I know that we're not doing it because it's not necessarily of favor. We want to provide, you know, that representation. You know, I know that for me,
your company is doing
what needs to be done.
Your company is doing what needs to be done. We're agreeing that those action steps that you're saying are correct, but what we're talking about, the Black people being misrepresented, underrepresented. The solution that you said would be a solution not for one company. So then what would be the actual strategic plan then if it's not just for one company? So that's what she's speaking to when, like,
well, I think, then that's where major action and that uncomfortableness comes in. You start calling them out. You know, what is a business that you attend every day? What does their staff look like? You know, if you care, you know, how is this nonprofit spending their money? Who is on their board?
So there you go. So now tie that up. Sum that one up. That's the teacher in me, Nicole. That's good right there. So how would you sum up that actionable step that you just said?
I would say call out the businesses and the places that you spend your money. I think that's the first way that as a white woman, and I can say to another white woman, if you want to be of change, where are you spending your money? What are the businesses that you're attending? And what does their staff look like? What does their board look like? And if you don't like it and it's not diverse, then call them out. I think that that's important. I think it's time for us to be uncomfortable, you know, call each other out and to realize, wait, that doesn't make sense. My staff doesn't look like my community. Like that, you know, enough is enough. And then I think we need to get to a point, and I think the more that this happens, we'll be able to say that freely and it to be understood that that is the right thing to do.
Thank you. And so hopefully everyone, please make sure that you share this live. It is important to share this live. This is something that everyone needs to hear. So please make sure you share it, because even though it's done, because you shared it, all of your community, your tribe, they can catch the replay. So please make sure you share it so that we can all be educated, empowered, equipped, and enlightened, okay? In truth and in transparency. Yes, they love that. Yes, call them out. Make them accountable. Absolutely. But what I love about this, Nicole, as you can see, every single idea that you're mentioning, it's your idea. It's not mine.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right?
Right.
So we're all like, absolutely. Yes. Go ahead.
I think, I want to also, go back to the politics and to getting everybody registered to vote. I think when we see that is one of, and where can I go? And there's information. So there's, able to go online and to find out where are the parts of the community that are not registered. You know what I mean? And get out there and knock on the door.
White woman.
I think, if we can get out,
white woman, let's go.
If we can get out there and show that we want to use our voices to help you have yours heard. And I think that is something that every white woman should care about right now, today. Elections are in November. Local elections are just as important as the president. And I know that I'm not trying to we don't need to get as, political as you want, but remember that voting isn't just for the top. It's, voting for your community leaders, who is representing you at City Hall, who's representing you in Tallahassee, and then that eventually, and I know that, if we can, so that's one of the things that I think that every one of us can do is to make sure to look at what parts of the community, and it is a lot of the Black community that are not registered to vote. And if we can get out there, that is a way that I can help physically and an actionable item that then is allowing you to still be heard come election day. And then also, I just, also something it seems as trivial as helping people fill out this US Census. If people know who is living where, that will help the dollars go where they need to go. And I think that if we can, educate, this is how you register to vote. This is how we can get you transportation to the polls. This is how we can get you postage for mail-in ballots, because you need to be represented. And I know that as white women, those are actionable steps and physical things that we can actually do.
I absolutely love it. So what I want to do right now, we're going to make sure that we do a recap, because so white people, listen up, please. All white people, yes. Your white sister just now, I'm going to gave you 3 actionable steps that you can do with your white privilege. I didn't give it to you, because that ain't my role. I got enough that I got to go through just surviving being Black. However, your white friend, your white sister just told you 3 actionable steps that you can take to actually love other people, truly love, not just because this is all white Christians too. Oh, I'm praying. Pray and act. Miss me with you just praying, because no. The Jesus I serve, he don't roll like that. The Jesus I serve, he's about action. He's about change. He's about willing to be uncomfortable and sacrifice for the greater good. So all this whole, you want to, nope, not happening. So your white sister, not me, your white sister spoke to you just now and told you 3 actionable items. So Nicole, you said the first one, making sure that they're registered and getting intentional, I guess, rallying together to elect local leaders who are Black. Mm-hmm. Then you also talked about businesses. So the businesses that you spend your dollars on, the businesses that you're a part of, you need to be investigating and seeing how diverse are their boards, how diverse is their staff, how diverse is, right, their employees. And then the third one, what did you just say?
Well, and
something else.
And then just, helping to help people register to vote, help people, fill out the U.S. Census, because those are physical and actionable items that we can do to help you be, on the map, be on there, have your voices heard, because that's where the funding goes, and that's where the, the money is everything.
Hold on. We're not saying that she can fix the white world. So that's not what this is about. No one person can fix everybody. So I'm not putting that burden on her. However, I wanted to give her a platform to be able to speak to white people and lead them to repentance, whoever is open to it, because that's really what this is about. That is not my responsibility to do. That is her responsibility to do. And I'm giving her a platform to be able to do that. So in no way am I making her feel like she is obligated to fix the whole white world. She is her own self, and she will figure out whatever she needs to do. So I think she knows that. Okay. Thank you. Yes, we, excuse me, hold on. I'll be having to check when they come on here. Yes, exactly. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about allies. Thank you, Debbie and Kindly, for that. So thank you, Nicole. So just to wrap it up, because this is a conversation we literally could talk about for a long, long time.
I think it's going to open the floodgates for something bigger, to be honest. It's like, dear white women, you need to do like a whole video series.
Look, so, but at the end of the day, right now, I'm healing. Healing. I'm healing being a Black woman. And I actually have some things in the works, you guys stay tuned, that I'm doing to help Black boys. So I'm behind the scenes working. How can I help my Black community? How can I help my Black boys? Because I am a Black mother and this pains me deeply. So right now, to my Black community, we need to focus on healing and helping one another. So please plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. I love you all. Please make sure, do not forget, honey. Hello. If you don't know, now you know. God is still in the business of working miracles. So don't forget that with everything going on. God is still in the business of working miracles. And so #JoyOverFear. I am going on Oprah Winfrey's network this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Iyanla Vanzant's new hit show, Fear Not. And we'll be talking about what you can learn from fear. And I'm going on as an expert life coach. Like, me and Iyanla, we're just gonna be chopping it up, just talking, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited that God has given me an opportunity to just spread love, hope, joy, and purpose to as many people as possible. He's elevated my platform for that very reason. It's not for me at all. It's just because he entrusts me that with this platform, I'm going to give him glory. I'm going to help his people to be better in their personal and professional lives. I'm going to give them joy and peace and hope. And so that is why he continues to elevate my platform. So please make sure, tune in, the #JoyOverFear. I'm going to have a pre-party getting ready for the going on Saturday, and an after party. So with that hashtag, you'll be able to be entered into different drawings to win different prizes. And one of those big prizes is that I'll tell you guys about it later, but with that hashtag, if you win, you will get into a raffle to win my Success 101 course. And so you can go to my website, keytojoy.com, to access that. But you can buy it now if you want to, but you could also enter into the drawing through going on the OWN network and be able to receive that course. It is powerful, and you're gonna love it. So let me go back to the comments really quick. Thank you, congrats, yes, 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 you can't wait. Hey, y'all celebrating with me? Yes, that's right. We fear nothing. Whoop, whoop, up. Y'all happy? Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you guys. So thank you for tuning in. And I just want to tell you, my Black brothers and sisters, I love you so much. I was crying yesterday. I don't know how many times I cried, crying out to God, crying for our people, for our community, for healing. it hurts my heart to see what is happening. But I also am liberated because I am over trying to people please and find validation from the enemy. And what I mean by that is that you have all that you need. You do not need to feel like you have to people please and be like anybody else other than the amazing, brilliant Black person that you are. We will stand. We will continue to overcome. We will have our list of demands. We will figure out what policies need to be put into place. We will strategize and organize. We will do what needs to be done for our people. We will do that. And so I love you all. I stand with you. Just know right now, I did not come on here as some expert in all things Black. My name is just Dr. Keita Joy. I'm just somebody who God chose me to be Black. And because I'm Black, I got a lot of pain right now. I have a lot of rage. I got a lot of anger. I have frustration. And I'm processing it. I'm healing as I go. I'm doing the best that I can. And God led me to do this live today with my amazing friend, Nicole. And so you take from it what you can, leave what you didn't want, but just know that this live was intended to promote unity, to promote true change and solutions, to promote realness and authenticity. White women, the mask is off. The mask is off. You either rocking with us or you're not. I'm not making you do anything. I'm not forcing you to do anything. So please know that. But the mask is off. Nicole, please let everyone know, how can they follow up with you if they want more information about all the amazing things that you do?
Yes, you can follow me on Dupre.today on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook, Nicole Dupre. If you're interested in any of the vocal programs we do, it's operadelsol.org. And if you are interested in becoming a board member, we would love to have your voice. If you are a vocal or a music teacher, we would love to have you teach our students. And I hope that you realize that I came to you with an open heart and full of love. And I see you and I hear you, and I promise to do everything that I can.
Thank you, Nicole. We honor, we appreciate you for coming on. I thank you for sharing your truth. I thank you for being open to talking with me, because I definitely shared mine and didn't hold anything back, and you stood in it. And that's what I want. I think in order to heal and move forward, white women have to get used to being uncomfortable, standing in it, sitting in it, festering in it, so that you can heal and repent and do better. But I love you.
I love you.
And I thank you for being you, because my success formula is that's all that I ask from everybody, is to do you, do it well, and do it consistently. And so thank you so much, Nicole, for doing you. They're telling you now that they appreciate you, Nicole. They thank you. You're getting hearts. You're getting thank you, Nicole, for being with us. Thank yes to unity, change, realness, and authenticity. Thank you both. This was great indeed. Oh, that's my mama, y'all. My mama. It don't matter what nobody else say. My mama said she liked the live. So boom, there you go. That's all that matters. Everybody else talking about, oh, I like it. Well, you not my mama. My mama said she liked it, so that's all that matters. Thank you, mommy. And I think that's an amazing way to end. I don't care what nobody say. I love my mama, and she said I did a great. She said we did good, Nicole.
Yes. Thanks, mama.
Thank you. All right, you guys be blessed. And thank you for being a part of this Success Uncensored Live. See you later.